Hello everyone, I am Mr.Dishwasher. In the previous episode, we talked about the fire festival in Wano, which is about to take place. The army to take down Kaido has been assembled. The World Conference, shrouded in secrecy, has concluded. During this time, numerous major events have shaken the world. Among them, the newspapers reported incidents of death and assassination failed, seemingly involving Sabo and Vivi. Meanwhile, Drake secretly communicated with Kobe. He turns out to be a naval undercover agent, lurking beside Kaido. Additionally, the world government has abolished the 7 warlords of the sea system. The former warlords have become high-bounty pirates. This significant event will severely impact the world's balance. Enormous waves are rising everywhere, signaling the beginning of the battle, Marine against the 7 warlords.
武者震いがする。久しぶりだな。頼むぞ、おめえら。俺はその間に。トンズラだ。
On the other side, the Marines have learned about Kaido's alliance with Big Mom. This seems to be a rebirth of the Rock's pirates. In pirate history, the highest bounties were Roger with 5.5 billion and Whitebeard with 5 billion. Currently the Yonko have bounties of 4.6 billion, 4.3 billion, 4 billion, and 2.2 billion, respectively. However, facing the combined 9 billion bounties of the Yonko alliance, Akainu claims that the Marines have no remaining forces and lets the situation be. Back in Wano, the time has come for the Fire Festival. Orochi set sail to Onigashima, and the people are celebrating the Fire Festival, enjoying a rare moment of freedom. Simultaneously at the Magura port, Kinemon and others, surprisingly, do not see any samurai. They were expecting warships and soldiers, but all they see are the rolling waves. What exactly happened to turn the formidable army into a mirage? In fact, a day earlier, Orochi destroyed the bridge leading to the Magura port. Even the Sunny, hidden away, and other ships in the port fell victim to the bombing. However, in the face of all this, the 9 red scabbards are still determined to march forward. For the suffering people of Wano and in honor of Oden's will, everyone except for Momonosuke decides to bravely face death.
いいかお前たち。世界が動き始めるその前に、和の国を開国せよ。
"41 years ago, Oden was a prominent figure in the flower capital, constantly attempting to escape Wano and sail the free seas. However, due to the country's isolation and unfavorable circumstances, Oden faced 38 consecutive failures. In the flower capital, Oden's mastery of dual swords was unparalleled, and his strength was evident when he struck down a menacing giant boar with a single blow. It was for this reason that Oden earned the respect of Kinemon, originally a hoodlum, as well as the samurai Denjiro. Back then, Oden's troublemaking nature led to a severing of ties with his father, Kazuki Sukiyaki. Consequently, Oden departed from the flower capital, attracting many who wished to follow him. These followers, unknowingly, lifted their legs in unison, causing the city to tilt. Subsequently, Oden met with Shimatsuki Yasui, the daimyo of Hakamai, and encountered a new servant of the Yasui household, Kurazumi Orochi. On the surface, Orochi appeared subservient, but in secret, he was pilfering wealth and continuously feigning a pitiable background, always borrowing money. Meanwhile, Oden embarked for Kuri, intending to reform the lawless land. On the way, he took in 2 young boys, Aizu and Kiku, and also found Reizo and Kenjuro. Later, Oden faced off against Ashura Doji and the ruffians of Kuri in a night-long battle, ultimately emerging victorious. Oden's magnanimity earned him Ashura's respect, and Kuri was transformed into the beautiful paradise village under his governance. As a result, Sukiyaki officially recognized Oden as the daimyo of Kuri, and the entire nation felt proud of him. Then Oden extended an invitation to Kinemon and the others.
俺の侍になれ。オデンさん！いややめろ。鼻水出てるあくっついた。
Thus Oden assembled his team of loyal retainers, with later additions including Kawamatsu, Inuarashi, and Nekomamushi. They diligently honed their skills, becoming the most formidable group of retainers in all of Wano. Years passed, and on this day, the Whitebeard pirates unexpectedly landed in Kuri, Wano, led by Whitebeard himself. Upon learning of this, Oden was greatly excited and immediately confronted Whitebeard with his blade, attempting to force himself onto the ship. However, Oden faced defeat in the face of Whitebeard's overwhelming strength. Nevertheless, Oden persistently begged Whitebeard to take him along, and he even passed Whitebeard's trial. After 3 days and nights of grasping the ship's chains, Oden finally became Whitebeard's younger brother, embarking on a pirate's life. During the trial, Oden also rescued a woman named Toki, who had traveled from 8 centuries ago. In secret, Izo, Inuarashi, and Nekomamushi also joined Whitebeard's ship. In the following time, they experienced numerous adventures and forged deep friendships. Oden marveled at the world's wonders, discovering that the other side of the sea was truly splendid. To chronicle this journey, Oden wrote a diary and crafted intricate world maps. He also fell in love with Toki, resulting in the fruit of their love. On the other side, in Wano, the daimyo of Hakamai, Sukiyaki, fell gravely ill due to poison administered by Kurozumi Orochi. Orochi deceived Sukiyaki, claiming to be Oden's sworn brother. Thus he temporarily granted Orochi the role of acting shogun. The Kurozumi clan had once attempted to seize the position of shogun but had failed. Meanwhile, Orochi gained the support of 2 senior members of the clan. One of them possessed the clone fruit ability, using it to deceive Sukiyaki and even impersonate him, announcing Orochi as the new shogun. In the vast sea, one day, the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates accidentally crossed paths. Without much ado, they immediately engaged in a battle. Roger effortlessly defeated Oden with a single move, and a mighty clash followed between Roger and Whitebeard. After a 3-day and 3-night battle, plunder turned into gift exchange. Roger met Whitebeard for a drink and learned that Oden could decipher ancient texts. Then Roger proposed to Whitebeard to borrow Oden for a year to fulfill his wish. At that moment, Oden was deeply moved by Roger's boldness. Because Roger uttered a sentence that no one dared to imagine. Eventually Oden agreed to Roger's request. He wanted to help Roger achieve his dream. And so, Oden embarked on the 2nd chapter of his pirate career. In that year, he, along with everyone, accomplished a world-shaking event. They aided Roger in reaching the final island, unveiling all the truths. Hence, Roger became the one and only Pirate King. When everyone learned the truth, they burst into laughter, enlightened. That day was the day when everyone realized their dreams, a day of greatest joy for Kazuki Oden.
最後の島に着いたあの日、俺たちは世界のすべてを知った。ロジャーはあの時笑ってた。ジョイボーイ、俺はお前と同じ時代に生まれたかった。800年誰も行きつけなかったこの最後の島にこんな名前をつけねえか。ラフテルト。
Afterward, Roger disbanded his pirate crew, while Kazuki Oden declined Rayleigh's assistance, returning alone to his homeland. He was to embark on his own journey, to open the closed-off gates of Wano. Today, Wano stands with smokestacks, no longer the once idyllic sight. The people endure oppression, their lives deteriorating day by day. This is all because of the treachery of Kurozumi Orochi, who has allied himself with the notorious pirate Kaido, stirring chaos in the land of Wano. Despite the harsh living conditions, the people rejoiced sincerely at Oden's return, placing their hopes on him to rescue the nation from its dire straits. Upon learning of the situation, Oden immediately set forth for the capital, single-handedly defeat numerous henchmen of Orochi. His fierce countenance, akin to a demon, sent shivers down the spine of Orochi. However, the elder of the Kurozumi clan, endowed with barrier fruit abilities, withstood Oden's onslaught. In the midst of this deadlock, Orochi resorted to taking civilians of Wano hostage, forcing Oden to perform a daily naked dance in the capital. He reluctantly agreed, with Orochi promising to release 100 hostages for each dance, and after 5 years, Orochi would depart Wano, bidding farewell to everything. So, Oden trusted Orochi, choosing to bear this heavy burden alone. He took to the streets, dancing day after day, in the nude. This spectacle left the hopeful citizens, anticipating Oden's triumphant return, bitterly disappointed. They had hoped for a savior but instead encountered a clownish figure. A year later, Orochi callously informed Oden of Roger's demise. On that day, Oden stood by the seaside, shedding tears, and laughter echoed in the air. He recalled all that had transpired, grieving for Roger but also feeling proud of him. Our captain had an extraordinary life. Then Oden continued to dance for many years, and time eventually rewound to 20 years ago. Yet, on the promised day, Orochi broke his word, planning to transform the entirety of Wano into a weapon factory, even subjecting Hyogoro to Kaido's cruel whims. Oden, pushed to the brink, finally decided to take up arms. He rallied his loyal retainers and set out for Onigashima. The setting sun bathed everyone in crimson hues, and the blades glowed as fiery as the sunset. On that day, the people hailed these faithful retainers as the 9 Red Scabbards. However, Kaido had received insider information and intercepted them on their way, confessing to the deception he had orchestrated. 5 years ago, if Oden rallied the strength of all the samurai in the country, he could make Kaido unable to withstand it. However, as of today, Oden's reputation has faded, and Kaido holds a firm advantage, sealing the fate of Wano. Upon hearing this, Oden expressed no regrets about his decision that day. Without hesitation, he drew his sword and engaged in a fierce battle against countless enemies. It turned out that Oden, along with the 9 Red Scabbards and the power of Shinobu, was truly formidable. Thousands of soldiers were defeated, and even Kaido's dragon breath was nullified. Seeing this, Queen and King intercepted the Red Scabbards in succession, while Kaido personally took action. However, at this moment, Oden's momentum soared to the heavens. He faced everything head-on, determined to prevail, even against a dragon. After a single strike, Kaido was severely wounded. However, the elder Kurozumi used the clone fruit to transform into Momonosuke. This distracted Oden, allowing Kaido to seize the opportunity and subdue him. Thus the campaign to take down Kaido concluded tragically. Oden and the 9 Red Scabbards were sentenced to be boiled alive for their supposed treason. Facing such a terrifying execution, Oden made an unusual proposition to Kaido. If anyone could survive the punishment without dying, Kaido must spare that person. Mockingly, Kaido agreed, making Oden a 1-hour bath in the scalding oil pot, a place of certain death. He believed that neither Oden nor the Red Scabbards would survive even a minute in such extreme conditions. However, Oden didn't utter another word. Instead, he jumped directly into the boiling oil. The searing torrent relentlessly burned his body, and Oden couldn't help but emit an inhuman roar of fury. Seeing this, the Red Scabbards rushed towards the oil bath. They wanted to accompany their lord in facing the endless sea of fire. At that moment, Oden made an astounding move. Unexpectedly, Lord Kazuki Oden bare the execution by boiling oil pot alone. Blood flowed from his mouth and nose, his body felt as if it were on fire. Onlookers chuckled, deeming him a foolish lord. However, Shinobu disclosed the truth behind Oden's naked dance. Back then, she had hidden in the rafters, eavesdropping on Orochi's threats to Oden. Only now, the people of Wano truly understand that their peaceful lives owe much to Oden, carrying the weight of the nation. Time passed, the fiery ordeal failed to break him. Oden endured an entire hour in the scalding oil at over 700 degrees. Yet, Kaido and Orochi betrayed their promises once again. They ordered the execution of Oden's entire family and mercilessly shot even the people pleading for mercy. In the face of danger, Oden entrusted his dream to the 9 Red Scabbards, declaring that a promised one would emerge in the future to lead Wano, and the country must support that person. He then threw the Scabbards out of the range of the boiling oil pot, and they fled with tears, unable to look back. To do so would halt their steps, leaving Oden's dream unrealized. Meanwhile, Kaido aimed his gun at Oden. Out of respect, he claimed to have killed the elder clone fruit user. Oden, rather unconcerned, replied to Kaido.
真面目だな。せいぜい強くなれ。俺の侍たち。時、桃之助、日和、行ってまいる。逃げてなんぼの。
And so, Kazuki Oden met his demise with a smile in the midst of the raging flames. His life was both tragic and magnificent. If the Pirate King, Roger, possessed an extraordinary life, the same can be said for Kazuki Oden. Afterwards, Orochi ordered the extermination of the Kazuki clan, and Toki, with her ability, transported Kinemon and the others to a future 20 years hence. Yet, she herself chose not to leave. This Toki from 8 centuries past had once aspired to witness the world's transformation in the future. However, upon meeting Oden, she realized that the era he lived in was the endpoint she was willing to stop at. In the end, Toki was felled by stray arrows, meeting her demise in the Sea of Flames. Wano fell completely into the hands of Kaido and Orochi, ushering in a dark rule. Over the past 20 years, Denjiro underwent a transformation and became Kayashiro. He even disguised himself as Ushimitsu Kozo, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. Hiyori, under his protection, became the top-ranking Oiran. Meanwhile, Orochi also revealed to Kaido the existence of a spy embedded beside Oden. This individual hailed from the Kurazumi family, with parents who were actors tragically killed on stage. Thus the spy harbored a unique obsession with performance. He had been acting as Oden's retainer all along and was even willing to die for him should he not receive orders from Orochi. Returning to the present, the scabbards face an empty sea, their plans having been repeatedly exposed, leading them to suspect the possibility of a traitor among them. Nevertheless, they decide to press on with their battle, even if thorns litter the path ahead, because the next opportunity will come in a year, and the situation will only grow more dire. Just then, a sudden change occurs. Kenjuro reveals his true identity. Astonishingly, he is the traitor among the red scabbards. He manages to deceive everyone with his painting clones, stealthily reaching the harbor and capturing Momonosuke. It turns out, Kenjuro had been harboring his talents, as his painting skills were truly remarkable. At the same time, 3 of Kaido's battleships emerge before the group. They immediately open fire, intent on eradicating the remnants of the Kazuki clan. Just as this crisis unfolds, the Sunny sails forth through the waves, accompanied by Law's submarine and Kid's ship. With just one encounter, a battleship is utterly destroyed, and Kayashiro also leaps into action, cutting down another battleship. Currently, Kayashiro arrives with 1,200 rescued samurai from the prison to aid in the battle. He reveals himself as Denjiro to Kinemon. Then Denjiro expresses admiration for Kinemon and deciphers the secret code. The 2 horizontal bars on the snake represent only needing to focus on the snake's head, which symbolizes the embankment at Habu port. The samurai set off a day early, gathering at the embankment. The ships destroyed by Orochi's forces were all abandoned, and Kenjuro, unknowingly, didn't detect the clever interpretation. Denjiro greatly praises Kinemon's astute thinking. Kinemon pretends to be profound but hides his fear. The combined force of 5,400 warriors assembles. At this moment, Kenjuro quickly draws a bird and leaves with Momonosuke. Encouraged by Luffy, Momonosuke sheds his past timidity. He urges everyone to attack and assures he'll seize the opportunity to escape. Nevertheless, the samurai remain in grave danger. The final Kaido battleship from afar relentlessly fires, utilizing its superior performance and weaponry, leaving them powerless. If this persists, the plan to cross the sea and attack the island will crumble. However, at this critical juncture, numerous tidal waves surge from the sea. Their tremendous impact slices through the cannons and wipes out Kaido's battleship, leaving everyone astonished. Who is this person that has such supernatural power to shock the world?
誰かいるのか?
手前小国と発しますわ。海底の国竜宮王国魚人街。この度麦わらの親分さんに杯をいただく駆け出し者でござんす。と呼んで海峡の陣兵衛。以後免停お見知りおきの上よろしくお頼み申します。陣兵衛親分陣兵衛。ルフィ、約束通り生きて戻ったぞ。戦いに間に合ってよかった。
Thus, Jinbe successfully rejoins the crew, completing the Straw Hat assembly. Without delay, they race towards Onigashima. The island is about to witness an earth-shaking battle. How intense will the clash between Luffy and Kaido be? This question will be answered in the next episode. Stay tuned. Thank you all. Goodbye.